Hello, welcome to this video. My name is Jan Hoogland. I'm an Arabist, I'm a retired assistant professor of Arabic, and I'm the person behind the Media Arabic text collection. And in this video I will explain to you some of the principles of the Media Arabic text collection. And first of all, I will read a few lines from the web page with the explanation of the Media Arabic text collection. I will show you the address of the website on the screen. This project covers training and improvement of reading and comprehension skills in Media Arabic for those who are at the intermediate, high or advanced low stage in their learning, which means B1 and or B2 levels in the Common European Framework, and who are advancing from comprehension on the sentence level to comprehension on the text level. The project's text collection facilitates the transition from reading texts written for educational purposes to the next phase of reading authentic texts written by native speakers to convey a message to other native speakers. So this is why I have made this collection of texts called the Media Arabic text collection. And as a matter of fact, the collection is growing, which means that every few days I add one or two more texts to the collection. We will now switch to a recorded screen session, and then I will show you on the computer screen what the principles are of the Media Arabic text collection. So here we are on the home page of the Media Arabic text collection, or the text selection page as I call it. We have a few buttons here, and we can make a number of choices concerning the texts and the information we want to see. I will show all of the different options to you. First of all, there is this catalog button. If you press on it, you will see all the different texts that are available in the text collection. Currently there are 14 different texts, and this number will gradually rise. And there's some information about all of the texts. There's two columns I would like to explain to you, and these are the column of lexical difficulty and of syntactic difficulty. Later I will show you what kind of lexical information and syntactic information is stored in the different tabs of the text collection. Here you can make a quick choice if you want an easy text or a text that is a bit more difficult. The number of glosses indicates the number of words that are provided with glosses, which means with information about the meaning of a word. This is the number of glosses in a text. And lexical difficulty is the number of glosses per 100 words. So that's a relative difficulty, which means there are texts with 0 lexical difficulty. This means there are no glosses. This means that all words in this particular text, Palestine 003 or 004, have no glosses, so all the words in these texts are in the top media vocabulary, and this explains why they have a lexical difficulty of 0. And the most difficult texts there are, they have level 13, which means that in every 100 words there are 13 words that will need a gloss, because 13 words are not in the top media vocabulary. As for syntactic difficulty, I have a number of syntactic tips in every text, and the difficulty is again a relative number of syntactic tips per 100 words. And here you see they can vary between 8 and 21. So 8 means in 100 words there are 8 syntactic tips available, and if there is a level of 21. Well, this means the text is, contains more syntactic difficulties. Okay, let's move on to the rest of the options. There are 3 different subsets of texts. There are texts from Palestine or concerning the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. There are texts in, from, about Tunisia. And there are short texts, and they can cover all different kinds of subjects. You can choose a subset, and then in this list there you will see only the texts from this subset to make a choice. If you want to make a choice from all of the text, you just leave all, and then you will see on the drop down that all the texts are there. Syntax info. This needs a little explanation. And I have this slide from another presentation, by the way. The whole system of syntactic coding is explained in another video, and this slide is taken from the presentation I use in that video. Here you see the results of the 3 different levels you can choose on the text selection page. If you choose all, you will see all available syntactic information, and I think there are 21 red blocks here indicating a tip about the syntactic structure. If you choose limited, that means that the easy codes with syntactic tips will not be visible for you, and then there is obviously a lower number of syntactic tips available. And again, if you choose the last option, complex only, there are only 5 tips available for you about the complex syntactic structures. You can always change the choice you made if you go back to the home page and choose another level of syntactic information. Then you can make a choice for a simplified or traditional Arabic font. I will show this when we are on a page with Arabic text, because you can choose here on the start page, but you can also choose a font on one of those pages. Okay, well, after explaining to you all the different options on the start page, I think I should just click on start, so we will proceed to the next stage. So here we have the first tab, the About tab. The About tab contains a number of metadata about the text, and there are a few links available. If you want more explanation about the Media Arabic Text Collection, you can click here. If you want to know more about the most recent developments concerning the Media Arabic Text Collection, you can click here and you will see another page. Well, I can just show it to you. Every time I change something or when I add some texts, I will also mention this on this news page. And there's the email address you can use if you want to send some feedback. You will find here the same information that was also shown in the table of the catalog with all the files. Here you have also a kind of summary, well, more it's a few keywords indicating what the text is about. Okay, let's proceed to the next tab. This is the plain text. This is the text in its purest form as it was found on the internet, although spelling has been corrected. There's one color in the text that's green, and green indicates the words that are proper names or names of geographical things like cities or countries, etc. Although I assume that the names of Arab countries and their capitals are known to you. So here you see Tunis. This is not presented in green because I assume you recognize the word Tunis. But Michael Fallon is an English name, and well, it might be difficult for you to recognize it as a non-Arabic word because there are no capital letters. Sometimes it can occur that a proper name of a person will be marked green the first time it occurs in the text, but not every time. Then I assume that after once you've read it once, that is sufficient. As for the buttons on this page, here I can show you the switch font. If I press it, you will see another font. This is traditional Arabic, which is well, more stylish, I would say, but it is also a bit more complex since it contains ligatures like here the sheen and the meme, and here the meme and the Jim, for instance. So you just choose what you like. And there is a download button for a number of tabs, and I will mention this with every tab. For some of the tabs there is a download file available, and this certainly is the case for the plain text. If I press that button, we will find a list with 3 downloadable files. So for instance, you can download a PDF of the plain text. I already have this available. We have to go back to the right tab, and then let me switch to Adobe. Here you have a PDF file of the text. If you look at the text, put them next to each other, you will see it's the same text. Bi'athat Tadrib Askariya, Bi'athat Tadrib Askariya. So you can download it to use it offline or whatever, whatever you want to do with it. So this is what happens if you push the download button. Let's proceed to the next tab. The next tab contains the same text, but now it is voweled, fully voweled, which means that all vowels are there. Vowels that are part of the words, but also case endings that can help you understanding the structure of a sentence. And here again, in green, the proper names. There's no specific download available for this tab, and again, you can switch font. Let's proceed to the next tab. On this tab, we see the text again, and the difference between the other tabs is that there are a few blue words now, and blue indicates that a word is supplied with a gloss, providing you information about the meaning of the word, and maybe not just its meaning, but also some morphological information. If I point with the mouse to the word, you see the pointer changes into a little hand, which means the word is clickable. When I click it, in the lower bar of the screen, we see a word musammim, which means determined, and it is an active participle of the second stem, stem 2 of the verb, musammim. And there's one other word in this text. If I click on it, again, information about the meaning of the word appears. Bimuhadati means parallel to. So these 2 words are the only 2 words in this text that are not in the top media vocabulary. All other words are in there. So which again is a nice illustration of the representativity of the top media vocabulary. Well, then one more thing about the vocabulary info tab concerning the download. if you want information that belongs to this tab, there is available a very small Excel file containing the words with glosses from this tab. If I choose the vocabulary, I hit go, we see the file is downloaded, I open it, and then we will see a very tiny little Excel file containing 2 words. Because if I go back to the text, we were on the Vocabulary Info tab, there are 2 blue words, musammimuna and bimuhathati. And these 2 words are also in the Excel file. I have done this to make it possible for you to create your own list of vocabulary to work on memorizing it. You can collect all the different Excel tables, put them together in one file or whatever. So this is a type of information about the vocabulary tab that is available for downloading. Let's move on to the next tab. This is the Syntactic Info tab. Here we see something else appearing. Instead of colored words, there are these little red blocks, and a little red block means that if you click on it, there is information available about the following word or words. So clicking on it will result again in something showing up in the lower bar. And here we see that lil tasaddi has as a tip, it is an L3, which means a preposition li plus a masdar. And the meaning is so or in order that. A full explanation of all the codes and the coding system and how it works is available in a separate video. The title of that video is Syntactic Coding Explained. And you can find that video in my YouTube channel as well. So clicking on any of the red blocks will provide you with information about the structure of the sentence. There's no download available, no download related to this tab. We'll move on to the next tab, which is Vocabulary Syntax. This tab is just a combination of the data available on the Vocabulary tab, blue words, and on the Syntactic tab, red blocks. On this tab we find the blue words and the red blocks together. Which means all information you might need to fully understand this text is provided in this tab. And it is my advice that you use this tab if you study a text. Again, download not available for this tab, and what clicking on a blue word and a red block means I already explained in the previous 2 tabs, so we can move on to phraseology. Phraseology is a tab that concentrates on words combining with each other. Phraseology means phrases, expressions, things that go beyond just the meaning of one separate word. And I will illustrate this in a few seconds. Let me first explain the different colors, because here it starts to look a little bit like a little rainbow. We have blue words, those are collocations. We have the green words again, which are the proper names, and we have orange words. And orange are multi-word expressions or idiomatic expressions. They are not clickable, but there is another source of information. And for this again, we will switch to the Adobe There's another file available, download file. So the download button has a file available for this tab. In this table you find all the words that are blue or orange with a translation, but also illustrating the combination of two words. Here we have بعثة تدريب عسكرية. That's 3 words. It's a series of 3 words, but actually it's a combination of 2 pairs, 2 collocations, 2 collocational pairs. There's بعثة تدريب, which is a training mission, بعثة تدريب. And there is بعثة عسكرية, which is a military mission. بعثة تدريب, of course, is a construct phrase or an إضافة. And بعثة عسكرية means that a noun and an adjective. And so there are many blue collocations, pairs of 2 words belonging together, more or less belonging together. If you want to know more about what is a collocation, then you should look this up in some linguistic reference books. And I have published on collocations in Arabic as well. Then you should go to my academia page. Now the orange words are multi-word expressions. تهدف لمساعدة البلد. And here in this table, even the idiomatic expressions or multi-word expressions were printed in bold to distinguish them from the collocations. Well, it's my advice, take a thorough look at these combinations of words, because it's certainly important if you want to actively speak Arabic in a proper way. Here's an addition to what I said about phraseology, because only recently I decided that I wanted to present to the users more information about phraseology. So I decided to make a database in which I have merged all phraseology of all the texts that are currently available in the text collection. So this is a database containing at this very moment about 450 items of all the phraseology that occurs in the 25 texts that are in the text collection at this moment. And this database will grow along with the expansion of the text collection. Let me give you a short explanation of the columns in this database. The first column contains the phraseology item, so either a multi-word expression or a collocation. The second column contains a English translation of the collocation or the multi-word expression. In column C you can see from which text the phraseology item was taken. The next column indicates if the phraseology item is a collocation or a multi-word expression, and as you can see, most is collocations. Then comes a column in which you can see the first keyword. The first keyword is, in my opinion, the word that is really the core of the collocation or the expression. Next column gives you the root of that first keyword. Then there is a second keyword, so that's, let's say, the other word in a collocation or another word in a multi-word expression. And again, a root of this second keyword. And then using the filters, you could sort the database by any of these columns. On my website, I have written something about this new information that I've added on the page with spin-offs and derivatives of the Media Arabic text collection. I will show the link in in the information with this video. In addition to what I said about the Phraseology tab, I intend to make a separate video about phraseology in the near future, so stay tuned by subscribing to my channel, for instance, and you will receive a notification if this video is available. So this is the tab with connectors. Well, what is a connector? I will read this from my web page where I introduced the system, the Media Arabic Text Collection. Connectors make up the structure and coherence of a text and indicate the connections between sentences or clauses. Connectors can also express chronology or causal or logical relations in the content of a text. These connectors can be function words like conjunctions or adverbs, but words with meanings like cause, result, etc. can also be considered connectors, since they contribute to the coherence of a text. And this last category, they are also called signal words. Now, in this text, the connectors are printed in orange and they are clickable. If you click on Wa'adafa, you see a translation, he added, and this is in a way a connector, since it connects one part of a text with the other. He said one thing and then he added and then he said another thing. And so here are a few of these connectors which you can click on and then you will receive information. Downloading is not available on this tab. I mean, it's available, but there's no download file related to the content of this tab available. There are downloads for vocabulary, for the plain text, and for phraseology. This is how the questions work. And then finally we have the translation tab. And on the translation tab you will find a translation in English of the text. This can help you if all the other information on the other tabs has not helped you out sufficiently. The translation was made with Google Translate, and then I edited the translation because it's not always a perfect translation. I hope this video was instructive for you, that now you will be able to use the Media Arabic Text Collection in an efficient way. I want to strongly advise you to use the combined vocabulary and syntactic info tab, because on that tab you have the most information available to read and understand the text. I wish you lots of success in using the Media Arabic Text Collection, and I'm always interested to know your reactions. So either you leave a comment with this video, or you can send me an email. I have this specific email address, readingarabicmedia@gmail.com.